Oh, hi there. I would like to recount a story of, again, I was downtown. This was last summer. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. Um, I wanted to talk about this Manitoba moose hat. Um, this one, as you can see, has the blue, and that's because it's the Winnipeg farm team. I actually prefer it when they were teal and the Vancouver farm team. I just think it's a better looking jersey than the one they got now because the color's not right and the shoulder patches are of the Winnipeg Jets, which doesn't look good. It was better when they didn't have shoulder patches and that it was teal, obviously, as I just said. Um, I don't have a name and a number on it yet. I had thought of a few people to put on there. Probably Corey Schneider or Alex Burrows. Um, I don't know if Alex Burrows was ever an assistant captain on the Manitoba Moose, though. Because the reason I want that is because the letters and the numbers actually look really cool on that jersey. They look different than your standard numbers, and like an assistant captain would look good on a Manitoba Moose jersey. Now I don't know if my guys downtown can do that or not, because it's an odd one. Like it's a AHL team, and it's not really in circulation. It would be a doozy, that's for sure. Anyway, aside from that, um, I had been on my way back from because I wanted to stop in at work before I went downtown, so I did that, and I had in my backpack a spare jersey because sometimes I like bringing two jerseys. I don't know why, I just like doing it, just switching things up if I feel like it on the fly. Um, so I believe I had a Chicago Blackhawks jersey with me. I don't remember it quite that well. Um, I also had my German helmet, um, the one with the probably fake SS decals on it. It's my understanding that SS helmets are hard to find and most of them are fake. I can live with that. Um, the helmet was expensive, but it was worth getting, and it's in pristine order. It's in a glass case upstairs. Anyway, so I had that in mind, and I stumbled upon kind of this in the kind of, I don't know, the square or whatever you would call it, like the center of downtown. I mean, I guess the nice part of downtown. I don't ever go past Pigeon Shit Park because that's like zombie town down there. And there's like an invisible line. They don't cross it really. Very few of them anyway. Anyway, aside from all that, I happened to see a black guy performing some sort of dance routine. He was quite good. He was a really muscular guy, really athletic. Like he was doing backflips and all this stuff. And it wasn't exactly, very cold or anything like that. It was a very hot day, so doing strenuous exercise in the sun is not very easy. And he was entertaining children and people passing by and other stuff, um, which is all right. I'm sure he went through the proper channels to be able to have that performance right there and then. Um, I happened to notice that there was a lot of there were him and his goons were wearing Chicago Bulls and Grizzlies uh, uh, memorabilia, like hats, jerseys, and things like that. I never did like basketball jerseys. I don't like basketball that much anyway. I don't even think I've ever sat through a whole game, even on television. It just doesn't seem like that interesting a sport to me. It's really one-dimensional, whereas hockey is so much more versatile. Anyway, I was watching him, and you kind of stand out in a crowd. I mean, there wasn't that many people there. There was like 20, 30 people there. But you stand out in a crowd if you're wearing a teal jersey, white hat, and I was hella staring at him. There's a combination of reasons why I was doing that. At the time, I was paranoid I was being watched, and guaranteed there was a number of people watching this particular activity that he was doing. Some of them had cameras, not like, just like iPhone cameras or something. Because I noticed people, they were kind of in the background, but I could still see them. And there are plenty of tall buildings around. Someone could have been up there, I suppose. Anyway, I was instinctively a bit pissed off because it's not that he was doing a bad job. It's not any of that sort of stuff. But he was entertaining children, and that's fine. That doesn't bother me. But the way I've grown up in my 30 years on this planet, I have not liked significant chunks of the media, particularly in the last 10 years, of the direction it had been going in. And that has nothing to do with him, but I don't like the idolization of black guys, which has been very predominant in the music industry and other faucets for different reasons. So I didn't like the idea of these children looking up to him, because I've had to go to high school with white guys who were trying to act like black guys, and I just go, "You're a douchebag." And Gran Torino spelled it out perfectly correctly, with that wigger trying to hang out with the black guys, and the black guys don't want to know him. The other thing is, this black guy was very muscular. He spent years and years training, and he's probably a couple years younger than me, maybe the same age. I don't know. I didn't talk to him, or that much anyway. So I considered him a significant physical threat. As in, if there were more guys like him around, and not so many guys like me around, they could dominate an area quite easily. And so I was a little, not intimidated, but I just went, this guy could pose a problem. And yeah, I thought about it. I went into my restaurant, downed a few glasses of wine, and I thought about it some more. And yeah, I just started making my way back there about an hour later. At this point, I'm 3 sheets to the wind. And I say that he's done his little bit. He's done his performance. And he's sitting down, relaxing, not even thinking about anything. But I see him, and inadvertently I walk behind him. And I was so quiet on my feet, even though I was drunk, that I could have wedgied the guy, and he wouldn't have been able to stop me from doing that. So as big and strong as he was, and as drunk and out of shape as I am, still could have got him. But obviously that's not what I meant. I wanted to talk to him. I said, "Hey, yeah, that was a good show. You must have worked really hard. Are you interested in seeing a Grizzlies team return here, or what are you getting at with this?" And he said, "No, man, I'm not interested in that. Blah blah blah." So he's like, "Oh, why don't you hang around for the next show?" And I'm like, "Nah, I got things to do. I'm going somewhere else." And yeah, all these thoughts, like, they've been simmering in my head of black idolization. Um, I don't like it because the way media's leaning, or arguably leaning, is that it's going to be more of that, and anything that's you're proud to be white is going to get derided, like hockey, for example. Hockey is clearly not as good as it used to be. Not that it's any fault of any of the players, but there are a lot of aspects of it that have changed and aren't good. Mostly because of nagging lesbians, I would think, but I don't really know. And they want to take things away from us, like alcohol and other things we like to do, like eating nice burgers and hot dogs and things like that. They're not winning, though. No, they're not. And yeah, it's the general theme I've had my whole life, that if you're proud to be white, that makes you a racist, and therefore you're wrong, and then therefore you should be ignored and forgotten. I don't think that's fair to me. And getting back to this idolization of black people and them being the teachers, that would not be so much a significant problem if history weren't taken into consideration. It's well known that the residential schools were ran by white people, and they were quite abusive to natives. You may go, well, natives are different from black people, but they have something in common. They're not white, and therefore they could potentially band together just to oust old whitey. And it's not that they don't have more modern day wisdom on things, and that they would be more responsible than the ancestors of white people who did do wrong things, but the hard-hitting facts is that bad things happen in those residential schools. As I made a video before, my grandfather, who is Lox Kalam, was raped in residential school. Some of that bad blood, it doesn't really go away. It just kind of gets diluted over the years as people try to forget bad things. But our media is like, there's always a story on the residential schools and things like that. And white guys bashing on Muslims is the current theme every day, just the same simplistic message over and over again. And it's just, you can't really trust a black person teaching, unfortunately. Well, you can, but you damn well better believe I'm going to be watching you. Probably more so than how the children would react to you. But I'm going to be watching you. And I know there are guys who are smarter than me, who know more about social conditioning of young people and all that better than I do, and can really school me in what I don't know about. But at the same time, I do know enough that I don't like the idolization of black people. Okay, tad racist it is. But it's just that I don't want to sound like a hypocrite or anything like that, but white man's got a lot to lose, and we're at the fork in the road here. We can go one way, or we can go the other way. If we go either way, then that's the way it's gonna be for like forever. And there's just some sort of intellectual food that we consume, modern day media, social surroundings, things that help develop young people's brains into becoming the adults that we want them to be. And there's only one of two directions it can go. It can go, the way of those crazy, freaky people with, colored hair, transgendered, tolerance and all that kind of shit. And acceptance of everything is a relative term. They don't accept everything. They hate guys like me. And, or we can go our way, the more traditional way. Okay, we got some fine tuning to do. Not everything's perfect. We could certainly do things a lot better, and we could not make the mistakes that we made before, not get out of control. Because sometimes that happens inadvertently with white cultures, and we just go a little too far about things. We get a little bit crazy. But all that can be sorted out. It's not that we're wrong, it's just we needed some fine tuning. And a lot of things that happened in history, although bad, were justifiable for one reason or another. So all this in consideration, I came up with a theory. Moose versus grizzly. Who would win? It probably depends on the situation, the terrain, and all this other sort of stuff. I'm sure there's been documented cases of grizzly versus moose. Sometimes the grizzly wins, sometimes the moose wins. I like moose more than grizzly, to be honest with you. I hear moose tastes really good, though. Never had that before, I have no idea. But anyway, there's no video of that on regular internet, not on YouTube or anything like that. Google doesn't really tell you. It would be an interesting fight to see, but there's nothing to go with on that, so you kind of just, some people know, and some people like me don't know. But yeah, so I'm thinking moose versus grizzly. Who's going to win? And I'm putting my money on the moose. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's about all I wanted to say about this video. I know some people aren't going to like what I have to say. That's fine. I don't like what you have to say, so we're just going to have to agree to disagree. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Have a good one.